Wait, you blame me? What do you mean blame me?
Nothing, because we're live.
Oh, dang, I get debated.
Right? Hey, appreciate you, fam. What is up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the Predcast. Hopefully, you guys got to enjoy last week's episode. We've actually been getting a lot of kind comments, so we appreciate you guys. But we got our own little interesting talks for this week, right? Very, very difficult to top last week's talk with the CEO, but we got PCC cast, announcers, competitors, all the above up in here. So we're gonna get pretty deep into this.
PCC.
No, I can't with them, bro. Jesus Christ. But let's get our introductions going before anything. So if we could, let's do in this order. Let's go Geronimo, just because you wore the hat, then Wangle, then Joey, then Bearded, then myself. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
Oh, so I guess I'll go first. I'm Geronimo Jack. I've been part of the Paragon community for 10-ish years now. I was very, very big in the original Paragon. I helped run the PCL with Shane and Notch. I helped run the largest Facebook community, and I ran my own events in that as well with a few other people. Ryan Red, actually, the community manager, he was the other person I ran that Facebook group with back in the day. Been to Epic, that was really cool, really fun, was on the live stream, and now I am running, helping run the PCC with Jolster, Choice, Stranger, TDM, and Lance, and I'm missing a few other people, and we're supposed to have Wangle on there very, very soon. Me and Wangle are supposed to cast together.
One day, man, one day.
It'll happen soon.
Was your trip to Epic, was it epic?
It was actually, so it was really funny because when I was like, 15-year-old me would have been so excited. Like it's like the ultimate thing for a kid to have. And I was a huge Gears of War fan. I played that game to death. I wasn't like as good as, let's say, Crashy or a few other people, but I was still like in the top like 800 on the leaderboard. So I would have lost my mind. But just being there and being so passionate about Paragon and being so critical of how the game was at the time, I sat there with the straightest poker face the whole time, and I had the community manager more than once tell me, like, you're enjoying this, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm having a great time. They also have a slide in the main office, or like in the main entrance, you have to sign a waiver for because it's actually dangerous to go down, and I bruised my tailbone doing so that waiver came in handy for them.
I'm glad you specified, because you said slide. I'm literally thinking like a slideshow. And I'm thinking there's gonna be a slide with your face just all like not having fun. I'm like, why would they put that slide up there?
It's a literal slide.
Got you. All right.
That sounds awesome.
And some of the things that happen in game dev studios, I question why they're there. they just love to make their offices just the funniest things ever, man. That's coming from me. I have 2 game dev parents, so.
Oh God.
Keep the environment. No.
Yeah.
Like chill, kind of vibey, right? Go ahead, Senor Wangle.
I think so. Hello, I'm Wangle. I'm currently entered at a VR studio, but within the space, I am a streamer. I'm a competitor in the PCC and a lot of the tournaments you might have seen. I'm the mid laner for Rogue, which is Pinzo's team. I've been playing. I played Paragon starting when I was like 13 years old, so I'm kind of one of the babies of the community. And yeah, it's kind of it for me right now.
Pretty nice.
Bro, that shit's nuts. 13 years old playing Paragon. What a masochist.
Yeah, I bought the game for my dad's birthday. It was his game. And then, 13-year-old Wangle was like, hey, let me try it. This game looks pretty cool. And one thing led to another, and here I am.
Fucking G, and now he's an addict. I understand, by all means.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to call it that. I'd say enjoyer.
An enjoyer. We're there with you, 100%. Joey?
Yeah, just your Shirley back on the podcast. I did content over YouTube. I do daily commentary reviews where I show off not only some competitive gameplay, but also some really fun builds. Since we've been talking Paragon the last 2 introductions, I originally played Paragon when I was like, 15, 16, when I was growing up in middle school / high school. So definitely, it was one of those games I was kind of growing up with alongside like other games like Destiny when I was playing video games a whole lot back then.
All right. What's going on, everybody? It's I, the Bearded Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder, and my son just recently asked me 2 days ago. He's like, "Dad, can I get this game?" And he's on his PlayStation 4. I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What?" Because he asked because there's things he's got to buy. He obviously can't get. He's like, "Can I get this game?" So I go, "Is it up there?" Because he'll ask me that question, then he'll have to take forever to get to it. 7 years old, doesn't really type that well. So I'm like, all right. So I go and look at it. He's like, "This game." He points at it. I'm like, "No, you can't get that game. That game no longer exists." He was pointing at Paragon. He wants to download Paragon on the PS4. It's still on the PS4 store or whatever. He can still look at it. And he's like, I want to get this game. I'm like, I would love for you to get that game, but it's not possible. So I can't wait until my son gets to be the next Wangle and can start playing these games. But we talked about that last week with Robbie and about how console's coming. So it'll come soon.
If he's a mid lane main, I'll make him the next Wangle.
I'll make him the
have him add me. I'll teach him all the ways, man.
There we go.
Hi.
But other than that, I am excited to get into this. I appreciate all of you in the community. We had a great episode last week. We topped out. I think the highest number I saw was 318 viewers watching us live, and then we've already hit. Last time I looked at before we went live here, 3.1K views on YouTube. You guys are killing it. Greatly appreciate all the support from all of you. It's amazing. Keep it up.
I see. And what's up, guys? I am Windu, and y'all make me feel old as shit, because now that I think about it, I think I was like 22, 23 when I first played Paragon, maybe? Some shit like that.
2 years ago, wasn't it?
How old are you now?
I'll let you keep thinking about that one as we go through. But
I'm old as shit, so like...
wait, how old are you, Geronimo?
I'm 34, so if it wasn't for my great genetics,
Ouch.
my beard would be just as long and gray as his.
Ouch. I don't know what to... I'm old as shit. I'm 34. Well, I'm older than that. I guess what's that make me? I don't know.
The dad
really came on the podcast and chose violence.
Oh, I'm only 29. I'm not senior citizen like some people in here.
I was 25, 26 when Paragon was around. So like,
oh, then yeah, just a couple years off. So I must have been like 21, probably right about there. But
Jelly says going for the throat. That's why I have the throat guard right here.
Yeah, that's
can't get to it. Can't get
that
to it.
Little bit of extra protection in there.
It's beard mail.
Little do you know, that's a V-neck he's got on. Anyway, so what's up, guys? I'm Windu, also known as Winduthemace. I'm a carry main, for those of you that don't know. Been playing a little bit of jungle here and there. Been following Predecessor literally since probably day one. OG Sergeant Smokie streaming days. I was one of the first people, along with like Burdick and Mangoose, that got a chance to try it back in the day. And I've been playing Paragon since Legacy days, so that's a fucking throwback. Again, I feel old, especially hearing that when he was 13 when he was playing that shit. Well, this is the Predcast. For those of you that may not know, Predcast is essentially a podcast that we do discussing all things Predecessor. Now, we do compare Predecessor to other games. For example, League of Legends, Smite, sometimes Paragon the Overprime, other competitors, etc. But we try to keep it as focused on Predecessor as much as possible. Now, before we get into any spicy subjects, I actually want to start off with a community shout out real quick. So there's a community member called thestickyiggy, right? Awesome name. He literally like an hour ago decided I'm gonna make some AI pictures. I'm gonna try and combine some Paragon heroes with some cool ideas I got going through my head, right? So the first one I'm gonna show on the screen here is Bulwark Steel. This is made by AI. And shout out to thestickyiggy because this shit looks dope. I need a skin like this in the game. Like, bro. Major shout out to the homie just randomly posting that. Thankfully, I was followed and I saw that shit. He didn't tag Predecessor or nothing. But this is super, super cool. And then also right here, I also asked him, I told him, make me a Greystone that has a Stormtrooper battle armor and also a Jedi. And like Bearded was saying right before we went live, this is the fucking way, bro. Like, this shit looks absolutely amazing. Honestly, I'm amazed that we don't see more AI renditions of different Paragon heroes, skin concepts, and stuff like that, right? Like, I know we have some super talented people out there, but we really don't see that many renditions. I wonder why. What do y'all think about that?
Well,
what do y'all
think? Know Mangoose did because Mangoose was streaming on Twitch there for a little bit. Mangoose was doing some Twitch streams, and he was actually going through and trying to get not even just Predecessor, all of the characters from Paragon. Like he was trying to think, all right, let's get all of these characters out there, and he would do his best to describe them. But he was using chat would join in and say, oh, use this word, use this description, and help out, and would try to do their best to get the AI to get as close as to what we know that character to be. And did pretty good ones, and those are up on his YouTube as well. You can get that at Mangoose. You search Mangoose, click the one that's not the actual animal, click the other one, and you can find him on his channel there.
Yeah, I do remember those. I think the original purpose of it was just in general trying to get AI to
right.
I can only imagine if we gave Mangoose the tools and just say, go wild, give me an Aurora skin. How would you describe it? Holy shit. Oh my God.
Is there a not safe for work part for this?
Oh, for real.
It's not getting through mid-journey at all.
All right. I just wanted to get that little shout out of the way. Just something cool that I saw that I figured we should share about it a little bit.
No, that is awesome. What
do you want to...
I like that steel.
What do you want to talk about first, Bearded? Let's go down that route.
Let's quickly just recap last week, and let's get Wangle's and Geronimo Jack's opinion on how last week's episode went, and we'll put in our thoughts and stuff like that, and then we'll carry on.
I mean, you're asking a lot from me. I'm a man with very severe ADHD, and I'm super public about it. I don't know what's being said as it's being said right now. What happened a week ago is a completely other topic.
Okay.
But I did watch, and from what I remember, the vibes were pretty good. It was nice seeing Robbie and Ace, Robbie and the same person being Ace on the show, and just talking about things, just interacting with people. The big takeaway is it's nice that Omida is starting to be a little more interactive with the community, because that's been probably the biggest criticism from everyone around the boat, is that, from a content creator's perspective or a tournament organizer's perspective, it's been pretty hard to kind of nail down or pinpoint anyone to get a hold of them. A few people I know are having to go straight to the CEO instead for anything super consistent, and that's been a little troubling. So seeing them actually come out, do more stuff, interact with people more, it's really nice, because it gives everyone kind of a large perspective, because a handful of us content creators, we're able to build those connections. We're able to talk to people a little more frequently, but the community at large doesn't get that nearly as much. So this gives them opportunity, right?
Yeah, 100%.
From what I saw, I wasn't able to watch the whole thing. Unfortunately, I was busy, so I kind of came and went as it was going on. But from what I did see, it was a really good dialogue. Just anything that he could comment on, he did. Gave a lot of promising things for the future, plans that they have, things that are in the works, and kind of when they're expected to be coming. I've always been dev sympathetic, having game dev parents, and currently interning at a VR studio. I understand more of how the process works. So I never had doubts in what Omida was doing, and I understood why they would make some of the decisions that they did. I'm not saying that they did everything perfectly, but I do think that they know what they're doing with this game, and I think the community at large saw and believed it from what Robbie was saying. So I think that's the most important thing, is just having the people that bought in this early into the game. This is not the complete package, it's early access, and people I think a little bit forgot about that, and I think a bit of it is about the community connection. I wish there were more videos of them, considering that they're an indie company, just kind of showing the community hey, this is what we're working on. You got to keep some things hidden for hype, like heroes and whatever, but just hey, here's iteration 1 of this, or we just figured out this thing that we can do. It might not happen for a while, but we figured out how to do it. So just kind of little tidbits would be cool, but I'm glad that the community was reminded what they bought into and what to expect from the future.
Definitely. And for your information, it is on YouTube, so you can go back and watch the parts that you missed, and it is timestamped for the things that you can check out on. So
Cough, cough. But yo, you actually bring up a great point, and it's been a good minute since we even mentioned something like that. But one of the best parts about Predecessor back in the day is how almost like, I guess you could say, candid things were. Like, it was just very on the fly, very live. It's like, guys, we're working on this shit as, you know, like as we show you. And it would be cool to see like a little like development TikTok or something and be like, yo, this is us just kind of having fun in the studio. This is a random conversation. Like, oh my God, you can do that? What the, bro, why haven't we been doing that since the beginning? Bro, I don't know. Ask Smokie. Like, you know, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, just little conversations between the team. That would be super cool. Hashtag community managers.
I know it can be difficult with like contracts or whoever's investing. Like the game I'm currently working on, the big company we're working with has made it so the company can't do those types of things even though we want to. So I don't know exactly what's going on in the background, but if they could figure out a way to do that kind of stuff, I think it would be super sick.
That's good information, and I feel like you guys are literally in my head. So I reached out to Smokie today to try to schedule a time for him to come on. And as I was driving for work, I was thinking of things that I wanted to ask Smokie, and that's what I wanted to bring up. I want to bring up that like, it doesn't have to be Smokie per se, but like the artist for the skins. Like, show me drawing a armor, you know, for one of these OG characters, you know, and it's not going to give anything away. We're just going to know what the armor looks like, right? So then when the hero gets released, all of a sudden we see it, like, that's the armor that they made. We watched it like a month ago on stream. That was the armor we saw. That was great, you know, but like, that's not what we.
My God.
So you're good, buddy. So, but
new special guest on the podcast,
right. But like, that would be something that I wanted to bring up to him while he was on the show. But like, you guys literally bring it up now, and so that was like, it's literally, you guys were reading my mind. So I would love to see something like that. That would be great.
You know what? Yeah, I actually want Wangle to be the one asking Smokie questions, right? Like, being on the dev side, I bet you have crazy questions that you could probably ask without, you know, like kind of teetering that line. As far as like the workflow of the office environment, little things, I feel like that shit would be awesome to hear from you.
For context, I worked last summer at the studio. I'm currently working this summer at the studio. I took a break in between going to school because I study abroad, so wasn't really able to work. But I'm in the office basically every day. I am in like a QA-ish position with maybe a couple other things I do. Like the other day I was helping capture for an upcoming trailer or whatever, but besides that it's mostly QA stuff. So I wouldn't be able to ask super high up questions, but even just with conversations from my parents about how video games work throughout my childhood, I think I understand more than most people, I'd say.
I think that's
being a video game developer is like publicly announcing you have an exhibitionism kink and a masochist kink with the amount of flack you get. Like, your work environment, you're against impossible odds of, I need to do more, but I don't have the time, and it's going to cost me more money. And in Omida's case, it's like they're racing against a clock that they have to hit this mark. They need to get to console release because the games and community's kind of feeling a bit bruised right now. But to get there, it's like a big hurdle on its own. So you're just like, it's a lot.
Yeah,
being game dev is not something that I'm exactly jealous of, right?
Fulfilling Sony requirements, or
you need more time to do it, but once you get there, you still need more time, but it might not be enough. Is it enough? Who knows?
Yeah, right? From what I've seen, it's what's the minimum to get to Sony? Like, what are the minimum things that we need to do to give it to Sony, and then be like, okay, cool.
Then work from there. Yeah, that's what Ace alluded to on the last podcast. He was like, hey, so the goal is going to be meet the minimum, submit, adjust what we got to adjust, submit it back, and then later on in other iterations, maybe other parts of the UI might kick in, etc. He was mentioning. But it's kind of wild, and Geronimo brings up a great point there that the community, it's like we're in a bit of a I guess the word I would use is a lull in a way, right? Like, the community wants something spicy, but at the same time, like, I heard a lot of good feedback about the next character, which we're going to talk about in a second, but I don't feel like a character is going to be enough to get the community to get into that next, like, oh, snap sort of stage. Yeah. So maybe.
So like to iterate on, it's like you need to introduce more features to make the community happy. And as Wangle's saying, there has to be a minimum amount. However, if we introduce, I'll use replay mode, and I'm not actually talking about, if you introduce replay mode for new characters and you're doing them just to get them out and they're not fully tweaked and you know they're going to need reiterations or some work in the future, you're kind of just adding more work into the pipeline that may or may not actually work as intended or be received as well as you'd like from the community. So they're happy to get the replay mode, but they get the replay mode and then it's not working as intended. It's not perfect. And the video game community isn't exactly the most understandable group of people at times, or forgiving people at times. So you give them the thing they want and they go, this sucks. What are you doing? And now there's just one other thing you have to worry about on top of those other things you had to worry about. So at what point, like, how do you work around it, right?
Yeah. No, I'd agree with you, Windu. This is definitely a lull spot, and Twinblast isn't going to fix that situation. I think Twinblast is just that what's that?
A filler?
Branch, a filler. Olive branch is just kind of like, here you go. We were not able to make our goal here, but we're extending this time. So here's, we're going to give you Twinblast for the meantime, and which is good. All right. And I'm again, like I said, we compare this to other games. There was times with Fault would say, hey, we're not going to make this timeline, we're sorry, and then that would be it. At least here it's like, hey, we're not going to make this timeline, so we're extending the season and we're going to give you, like, here you go, we were the hero you were supposed to get, we can't give you that hero, so we're going to make it cook a little longer, which is what Fault would say. Hey, they got to be in the oven a little bit longer, you're not going to get them on the time we wanted them. And then we'd be sitting there waiting, and then we just literally have nothing for that whole time frame. Mm-hmm. At least here we're getting something, right? So it's just a
fair point. Tit for tat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amita seems to be handling their pipeline and project management a little better in that regards. I was not someone who was part of the Fault community, so I'm not too sure. Like, I just hear stories at this point.
Yeah.
But based off what you're saying, like, Omita's kind of got it right, where it's like, hey, we're not going to get this one thing out, but we have this other thing already pretty much ready to go, so we're going to focus our attention on that in the meantime.
Yeah,
I think they have like enough things cooking in the background, but if I was to guess, like, from what they said,
tell me more.
Is they were probably just so uninformed guess, but they were probably working on the UI in a certain stream, and then they had other things that they wanted to work on at the same time that either needed to be worked on in the UI stream, which the UI is not done. That's going to be changing, so you have to keep iterating on the old things. And then if you want to actually work on the things not limited by the UI, then you go into another stream, but then it wouldn't matter anyways, because you'd be developing it and then it'd have to get moved onto the new UI anyways. So I think from what I read in the blog post, they said, forget that other stream, we'll finish the UI. Yeah. And then once the UI is done, everything kind of opens up. It's the same thing when they went and upgraded to UE5 from UE4 about a year-ish ago. I think they had like an open test, and then it was down for like 6 months or something, and they were just doing like UE5 stuff, and everyone's like, well, the game was playable, it was fun, what happened? And it was like, no, we got to rebuild a lot of systems because the entire base of the game is different. So it's not as big as that, but redoing the UI probably broke a lot of things, and they're just committed to doing that, fixing that. Once it's implemented, then from there everything kind of opens up. They can do a lot more in terms of developing at a more rapid rate, but right now they're kind of held in the chokehold.
Yeah, an example I'd probably use is, instead of building new buildings themselves, they're trying to upgrade from a dirt road to actual asphalt, right? Like, they're just making sure that the street is smooth, and then at that point they're like, okay, now we can invest into our city that we're building, right? Yeah. Like, imagine a skyscraper with a dirt road outside. That shit might not be the most functional shit you've ever seen, right? So I get it. I get it by all means.
That window cleaner for that skyscraper, though, is going to make some bank.
I mean, and the other thing when it comes to programming is you could type in like a random comma or an exclamation mark somewhere. You could add in a chroma to the game, and that could just break anything without you ever knowing it. So, like, good luck, have fun.
Mm-hmm. Bro, we've seen it in past Paragon projects in general, right? It's like, hey, we're just going to throw this one skin in the game. Nothing's changed. We're just throwing the skin. And now out of nowhere, for some reason, when you're next to that rock wearing that skin and you have this item equipped, force crash straight out the game. It's like, what the fuck just happened, bro?
There was that one with Fault. It was I think it was a Phase skin. Whenever Phase had this skin going against a Morgesh, it was instant crash for that person, for the whole lobby.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, then it was just like, to find that one out, I was like, wow, like what are your variables? All right, let's like, how do we know that it's this skin with this character? It was weird.
There was a bug in League of Legends for like 2-3 years with Kayn. 'Cause in League, I play Kayn. I'm a Kayn main. But there was a bug where if you did a certain group of things and you sat in the fountain and pressed W to use his skill shot attack, it would hit everyone else on the map without exception. And they patched that out 4 or 5 separate times over a few years, and it just kept coming back up, and no one knew why. Like, even Riot didn't know why. It just...
Bro, it's like, as far as development goes and a little bit of exposure that we've been able to see, like, at least from the content creator side, from the gamer side, and etc., we all remember Box Crux, right? Obviously that shit wasn't intentional.
That was amazing.
We all remember a Greystone coming up and be like, is that a fucking statue running around the map now? Like, what the fuck is happening? He's just stone running around. Like,
there were some weird ones, I think, in Paragon where I think it was like Greystone could ult and he'd come down and the screen would be lopsided. And I just saw a clip the other day of that happening in Predecessor. I was like,
oh god,
how did that happen, man?
Oh, bro, don't forget about Chimera leaping into the enemy core because somebody backed, bro.
Yeah,
like, there's
no, that's not a bug, that's a feature. Those things happen all the time in MOBAs. If you time the skill shot or the targeted dash just in the right way and it lines up perfectly, you're ending up in someone's fountain. You used to be able to do it with the Kalari. Someone would back and you try to ult to stop the back. Next thing you know, you're just in the fountain. I love, like, they're funny. Keep them in. Don't patch those out. Those are my favorite things ever.
Yeah,
they're only
some.
They edited them to be funny for you.
I mean, it's happened to me a handful of times, and I sit there, I bang my desk, throw my keyboard, then start laughing. Like,
so
like, come on.
So I try not to point out bugs on this show because I don't want, like, then for people to go on and purposely point, to do these things and purposely crash games or whatever. Although the more data for Omena might be a good thing, I guess. I don't know. But Chris brings up that there's an item that is bugged. Apparently it's game crashing right now. And I have yet to have a game crashing bug in this game. So I don't know if people don't use this item against me or with me or whatever, but like, I don't see this happen. And I play a lot of Pred. Like, this is pretty much the only game I play.
That's because no one buys Demon Edge.
I was about to say, I never see people build Demon Edge. I'm gonna be real with you.
I actually did Demon Edge on my spell video the other day, and I was hitting targets with Demon Edge, but like, I didn't crash, so it could be something else, or it could be a very rare bug with some interaction going with Demon Edge and Shield.
Yeah, like some combination. Yeah, maybe.
I was gonna say, maybe the reason you don't see Demon Edge is because the game crashes before you can.
I mean, the only game crashing bug I know of right now was a couple weeks ago where they had to revert they had to hotfix the patch and revert it because of adding, I think it was, they added Greystone to the game, but there was this weird interaction where your sound would start getting delayed. Your sound would cut off, but it would be delayed by a solid 20-30 seconds.
I did have that.
And occasionally it would just happen all at once. The last 3 minutes of noises would hit you all at once, and then your computer would crash.
I didn't get that far. I did have it to where there's a game like that. I'm like, that was weird. That I lost, that it was like, I got them with that game. I was able, it reset itself after getting out of the game. Yeah, and then they made that hotfix. I'm like, oh, that explains what happened last night. I'm like, okay, I was wondering what was going on.
Getting assaulted by 4 minutes of every sound that happened in the game within your peripherals all at once is a unique experience that I suggest everyone try at least once. Turn your volume up too.
We definitely went on this wide turn here. Let's go back real quick, just because I want to hear Joey and Windu's thoughts here. Joey, what were your thoughts of last week's episode, speaking to the champ himself? I know you were pretty excited about that.
Oh yeah, I was really, really excited because, like I said, I was a Paragon enjoyer back in the day, and of course, one of the content creators I watched the most is RGA. So just being able to have a conversation with him live was just phenomenal. It's a really awesome time, really good vibes all around, and he gave us some really cool answers, really good, like, insightful stuff was going on in the background. So it really, like, just kind of sparked a lot of, like, how I say it. I guess it got the community excited again for what's to come in season 3 and beyond. 100%.
Yeah, the word I like to use for this is it really boosted the optimism in my opinion. That's what I think it did a great job in that situation. It was nice. Like I could see it. He wasn't here with us, but I could literally see the optimism in Crashy just turn. Like he went from being like, hey, I'm not having fun, matchmaking, not having fun, and understandably so. I'm not hating on Crashy for that situation, and then all of a sudden it's like he was in chat, while we're talking to Robbie, and I could just see it. It was like a switch. Like as soon as he heard all those answers, he's like, I'm in a better place right now. So that was great to see.
Yeah, even though I was away this weekend, I've heard things that he's playing the game again more often. People are encountering him more, so.
Yeah, I saw him going up against Pinzo. I seen Crashy making videos and stuff, and it's awesome because I'm sure Omega realizes this to a certain extent, but whenever they release information like that kind of brings back hope, it's also affecting creators, because I know plenty of creators in general that were like, yeah, I don't know if Predecessor's the game I want to make a video about this week. Maybe I might make it on something else, It seems kind of off vibes right now. And when gamers get excited, the creators get excited. Because if people are talking about the game, creators are like, yo, I want to give them something to search about. I want to show up in the algorithm. I want to get that little high off of the clicks, the comments, etc. Which, by the way, about last week for me, I totally was nervous as hell while we were doing the entire thing, and I totally was nervous as hell when we ended. I was like, bro, I wonder what the community is gonna think. I'm already imagining the comments that are gonna come by. I am overwhelmingly surprised at how positive the majority of comments, feedbacks, a lot of very kind words being DM'd to us and everything. So shout out to all of you, by the way. Like, that shit was dope as hell. Even though there were still a couple comments here and there that kind of snuck through the cracks, right? Somebody even made a comment that we definitely got paid off, right? And it was like, yeah, God damn, bro. I was like,
the only way.
Be like, bro, what do you mean? Like, I got so many timestamps of me asking the randomest of questions and asking about monetization and loot boxes and this and that and blah blah blah. And I was like, hey man, I get it. You're not gonna make anybody happy, but I really appreciated all the love that the community has been showing as far as PREDCAST goes. So again, shout out there. What about you, Bearded? What did you think?
I was in the same boat as you, man. I was nervous coming up to it. When I saw the DM from Robbie trying to get in on the show, I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to say no, get you on. And then it's like, all right, let you guys know that we got Robbie going on. Like, all right, that whole week I was just like freaking out. Like, how do we got to ask the right questions? The community wants answers. How do we ask the right questions? We don't want to do it disrespectfully. We want to be respectful, but we also want to ask the hard hitting questions. It was great to see the community feedback and how positive everything was in that situation. Like I said in the intro, like we were at 3.1K views right now on YouTube, and like it's probably one of the most highly commented videos we've had in a while for PREDCAST, and it's a lot of it optimism, boosting hope in there, giving everybody hope again, rejuvenating, just the word, all positive comments, not all, but most of them positive comments. I had to look up the word shill. I didn't know what that was, but apparently I'm a shill, so I had to look that up to see what that was. I'm like, okay, sure, but it is what it is.
Bro, if only people knew we only had like 6 questions written down.
I'm still waiting. I'm hoping the check doesn't bounce, but we'll see.
I know Joey had I know he definitely had a document.
Yeah. No, for sure. We made a document beforehand, by all means.
Yeah. Again, we said we wanted to do it right, but we didn't want to we didn't want to upset the community. We didn't want to leave them hanging. So, I mean, we're part of the community as well. We saw the Q&A, and we were all kind of upset with the Q&A. We kind of just felt like we got left with wanting more. Like, what is this, and having that chance with Robbie coming on, that gave us that chance to get those answers, and we definitely felt more satisfied with the answers we got with Robbie.
And now we're gonna transition here towards PCC being the main focus in just a second. I want to go over just a couple of the Twitter posts that they've posted here as far as community engagement. Now I'm gonna have one on the screen here. Essentially, they put up a post, which role do you play? And I was pleasantly surprised at how much interaction this post got, bro. I never thought I'd see so many fucking people in the comments explaining why they play carry, why I do jungle. It's like, I do jungle because everybody else fucking sucks. Like, it was honestly hilarious to read through those comments, bro. Like, yo, just rolling through it. What do y'all think about them doing little stuff like this? Like, of course, it doesn't affect the game in any way long term, but just like that community engagement.
I could be wrong, but I want to do a shout out to their marketing manager they hired, because I feel like after they hired this person, a lot of things just started rolling. Like, we started getting things, either Twitter posts, or we have a Q&A with the dev, and we got things going on. Like, just things are happening, and it's like, it could be a coincidence, but I want to give a shout out to the marketing manager, because I feel like this is a lot where that's coming from. So great on that. But I love seeing these little, things like this just get interaction with the community.
So this kind of drives off the point I was making a little earlier when it's about community engagement. Like, one of the core community's bigger criticisms has been there's not a lot of community engagement. It's harder to do so. But now that they have the extra community manager and the marketing manager to support them, because beforehand it was just Kari and Nabori handling everything, which would explain why it was harder to get a hold of them, because they're just so busy. 2 people to handle a game of this, like a indie dev game of AAA size, with as passionate of a community as Predecessor has, you're not gonna, like, it's just a lot of work, right? You're not gonna be able to handle everything yourself. So now they have extra support and they can do these things and get that community engagement going, and that is, like I said, really nice to see.
What do you feel? What do you think about it, Joey?
Go ahead.
I think it's really cool. I mean, it just reminds me of one time where they're asking you build your ultimate, like, super, like, hero, any builders in the game, and we end up having a really kind of fun kind of tidbit doing that. So I think doing stuff like this more consistently would be really kind of cool to kind of more engage actively with the community. Like, I mean, the Twitter page does post stuff weekly, but it's more like they've been very consistent on the news side, I would say. But I think doing more of these more like questions like, hey, what's your favorite role? Hey, build this hero. I think that'd be really cool to kind of start ramping up, especially as we get closer to the full release, right?
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
You were gonna say Bearden?
Right.
My bad.
Medkit's in the chat, and a little shout out to Medkit and something he likes to do. And we did miss this in the beginning, but this is a perfect time with this Twitter post, actually. If Wangle and Geronimo could say your favorite hero that you like to play and your favorite role that you like to play.
So I like to call myself the original Crunch main all the way back in Paragon. No one liked to play him. Everyone thought he was awful, but no one knew how to build him. They always kept building him damage and crit when he was actually meant to be a frontliner. Back in the day, he had the highest base stats of any other character. So I adopted that. And then eventually from there, some people who are actually good at the game started playing him as well. So my favorite role is jungle, because I have no hands, I have no aim, as Wangle has seen. And I like Crunch because he just, his kit is so well rounded and it fits so well in a 3D MOBA, and it has like character skill, like actual true skill expression and understanding the character. There's depth to it. You can do more than punch buttons, and there's animation canceling. There's all these little things that you can just do with him. And then you can build him in like several different ways if you really wanted to. And that is what I look for in a hero.
Nice.
My dude's hating on Rustbreaker Crunch. I see you, bro. Okay. I see you.
God, I forgot about all the names of the old items, man.
Oh, bro.
Word Rust Breaker just
You know how much I grinded just to be able to get more than one Rust Breaker in that fucking game, bro? Oh my god.
I forget what it was, but the magical pen, like the tomes, I forget what they are. I grinded to get like 4 of those because that was the recommended number for a build.
That was it, bro. Like, it was just like, hey, I just got whooped by a guy with 3 Rust Breakers. I'm over here with only 1. I'm opening up these damn card packs trying to get more items. It was nuts. Wangle, what's your favorite hero / role?
So, obviously I play mid lane for Rogue, so I am a mid lane enjoyer. Even if my top 4 characters on Omega City are all different roles, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure you're the biggest Phil main in this community, to be honest.
Yeah, as long as you don't put me support, because I want to have the ability to do something in the game. Unless it's phase with Galaxy Greaves first. That's the only time
that's a good time. That's a fun
the only time I'll play support. But I don't really ever play it much because it feels kind of weird for me, just my philosophy, like playing my main in casual games. So I don't really play it much, so people might not know this, but I'm a gadget main. Even if she's not one of my higher played characters. I'm one of the few people that actually mains gadget. We're a dying species, but we still exist.
Gadget? Okay, spicy. And you know what? Just for the community, let's go ahead and go throughout the rest of the cast. Joey, what is your favorite character and your favorite role?
So my favorite role, of course, is offlane. I love the 1v1 duels. I like getting your face and just kind of duking out like real men, right? I'm not a ability spammer mid lane. I'm not someone that likes to shoot you from afar and not wanting to get close to you. I like to get closer. But besides that, my favorite hero, of course, is Quan, 100%. So you can imagine how upset I was
when Gravestone shut up.
I want Kwong in this game so bad.
Imagine how upset I was when FaZe won the weather pool, not Quan. That was a very sad day for me right there. But yeah, no, I'm very, very sorry to see when he comes back because he's one of my favorite mains back in the Paragon days. So I'm waiting for the day he comes back.
So far, I'm hearing from you that you're 0-2. You Countess versus Kira. You chose Countess and you lost that one. Now you chose Kwong and FaZe won, so you lost that one. You might want to start picking. Maybe pick by the other team. Maybe just put it on their side. So you're hey, I'm gonna reverse psychology style vote. All right, I'm voting for this team because I want that one to actually win. So, all right. For me, I am now offlane main. Thanks for the help to Joey here and Zygor in the chat. So offlane for sure. Favorite hero though, like it's hard for me to say this. Like I'm an offlane main, but my favorite hero is still Murdoch because I was an ADC main growing up, like through Paragon and Fall and all these other games. Like ADC main was what I was, but so it's like a mix between Murdoch and Grux. It's a tough one for me to say because I'm playing a different role now, but.
That just sounds like you give in and you go Murdoch offlane.
I was just thinking that. I was like, don't give in, bro. Don't do it.
Anti-ranged offlane. I know how much AIDS that is. I can't stand it. I will not put that on anybody else. No, I cannot stand it. I hate it. So no, I won't do it.
My favorite is when your teammates first pick it. So then you're like, I guess we have no tank, and I guess we're just countered for the next 25 minutes. This is awesome.
Well, that's when you hope that your support at least goes tank. All right, please just don't
give me a steal at least some shit, bro.
Pick Bellica support. Come on, I need somebody
into Rampage jungle.
Yep.
Yeah, you should just do Greystone, Crystone in offlane. The best of two worlds right there. You play carry, but you play melee too.
There you go.
Do it.
I tried playing Critstone recently, and it wasn't as great as I was hoping it to be.
You just sound like you didn't build next to me. That's all that's given.
I fucking can, bro.
Demon Edge.
Clearly, that must have been it. That was the straw.
I should have built Demon Edge so I can disconnect the other team. That was my one fallback.
There you go.
How dare you not go meta? So for me, I'm actually carry main. You will hear me complain that I'm the first one to die every fucking fight, but I love getting to late games and being able to do quads, pentas, etc. Right? So that's a major love-hate, and part of the reason why I'm kind of in a weird spot with Pred, because we just had a very good streak of carries living good back here.
Yeah.
And we left that. Yeah. We had that spot, and now I'm like, I get it. Carries aren't going to be on top.
Another carry. We don't need another carry right now. Be happy with what you have.
Bro, what do you mean? We always need more carries.
No,
you had a time where carries were good, and now you have a time where Kira's really good.
True, Kira is really good, but I'll tell you what. The one game I was playing with Bearded yesterday, the one game I went Kira, it was literally my first game as carry, right? The one game I go Kira, and it's like, okay, Steel, Rampage, Bellica, like just nonstop knock up CCs. It was to the point where I was like, bro, get me out of this game, Bearded. I literally can't ult. Like, I can't. Like, my team cannot stop these like gargantuan creatures just running past everybody towards me in the back. And I'm like, yo, hey. And I'm like, okay, all right, you know what? All right, I get it. Tanks get to have their fun. We got the Joeys of the world out here living good. I get it.
You should have broken will. You've been fine.
Yep.
Clearly, this might be. I must have been on the wrong tab. No, but yeah, I like Carrie, and I'm actually very excited for the fact that Twinblast is coming out, because even though I'd probably say that throughout history, Murdoch was my favorite Carrie in general, I still have the most Carrie games played with Twinblast as far as Paragon, all the remakes and everything. So it's like a weird, like, I do better with Twinblast, but I don't like Twinblast sort of vibe, you know? Like, it's like, bro, his mobility is good, but I've always hated his iterations, whether it was rocket launcher arms or whether it was Gatling gun or whatever the hell Fault did with that steroid boost, and it was just there shooting, you know? Like, I've never found a Twinblast kit that I was like, I fucking love this kit. That's spicy.
For you, I've been banging this drum for the last like 4 years. We'll talk about it in a bit. You want to know?
Let's go straight into Twinblast. Go.
We want the kit to be okay. So this is a full comprehension idea, because the idea of Twinblast as a character is he's the balls to the wall gunslinger. Go in. He's just like
high mobility,
high mobility, high adrenaline, and he's just got this giant cocky attitude that you want to slap right off his face, and that's how his character is, and that's how
the Tom Cruise of Agora for sure. Yeah.
So what you do is you take Twinblast, you keep his kit relatively the same, however you change his resource from mana to an overheat mechanic like Rumble has in League of Legends. So the more abilities you use, the more this meter fills up, and then once you max it out, you get a big damage boost. However, it locks out your abilities onto a cooldown for a second or so. And what that will do is it creates this idea of this adrenaline. You're trying to ride this red line of when you need to go full in, when you need to balance it, where you want to keep your damage bonuses, and it creates that like high energy octane, you know, feel that Twinblast has as a character. For newer players, it keeps them accessible, because you can just sit there and bang your keyboard all day long. You're manaless. It doesn't actually matter. There will be a drawback to it, because you're going to lock yourself out more often than you need to. The good players will learn how to redline the character correctly and then dump their kit when they have to. So you'll get this extra bit of power and burst at the right time with your skill expression.
Yeah, redlining to get the kill and then back up because you're burnt out.
That's what I want to see Twinblast being, and I think that's his kit and idea of character fully realized.
That'd be pretty spicy. That's kind of a little bit of a Lucian sort of vibe thrown in there.
Twinblast is white Lucian. That's all he is.
I fucking care, bro. Oh, bro. Look, if you guys look up Lucian on League, he literally is just a two-gun gunslinger.
Exact same kit. He's just white Lucian.
Now,
what's Lucian's ultimate? Because I don't know Lucian's
ultimate. The same ultimate.
It's basically Gatling gun, but you can't aim it.
Yeah, whatever direction you're facing, you just just winding off.
I don't care if you give me the Gatling gun ultimate or the rockets ultimate, right? What I will say is, don't give me Fault's piece of shit trash ultimate. It literally was nothing. You couldn't even tell. Our shout out to our guy Viking Jedi. He always talks about pushing buttons and feeling good when you're pushing buttons. When you pushed R for Twinblast on Fault, you didn't even know that you pushed the button. Like right. Nothing changed. Your character started to glow a little bit, but it was not enough. Like when you're pushing that button, you're not looking at your character. You're looking at the people you're shooting at. So you're not paying attention to like my body glowing, right? Like right now, Grux glows when he ults, but you're still fucking you're empowered, and you see that you're swinging faster and you're doing more damage, right? He basically did a double shot. Instead of shooting once, he was shooting twice. That was his ultimate, and he glowed it during it. But you didn't, like, you're not noticing it. There's no audio that you hear, nothing. It was trash. It literally I did not play him in Fault because I was like, nope, this is unfun. And I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand it because it's obviously not there anymore.
I'm pretty sure the double shot was one of his basic abilities in Paragon.
That was kit 1. Yeah,
you could do bam, bam. But that you at least knew you did it. It was a triple shot. It was like, and you say, all right, you heard it. It was the noise. Like, this is like instead of shooting once, you shot twice or whatever. I'm like, okay. And it was stupid. Yeah, it did damage. It was a great ultimate in the sense of how you melted people, but like, it didn't feel good to do it. Like you hit the button and nothing happened. Like, this guy's got fucking mechanical arms and they do nothing except for shoot grenades, because that's how he'd shoot his grenade too. That was it. And it's like, fucking let this guy morph into his fucking arms. I don't care which one you give me, or just keep it the same damage, but let me see pull the Gatling guns out and you can just keep on shooting the same gun for all I care. And it just seems like you're shooting blanks or whatever, but you're still doing
use the animation because you have it.
Use the animation just to make so I know that I did something. Because there's times I hit it, I'm like, did I fat finger that? Did I do it? Like, why is it on cooldown? Like, what happened?
That's what
you don't even realize it. So I hated it.
I find similar issues with the Mortgage's kit in its current iteration, because a lot of its game clarity is not there. Like, you throw the hive, I don't know where it went. I don't know where it landed.
Yeah.
I pressed the button.
The AoE isn't there, yeah.
She swung something.
Yeah.
Like
the feedback you get is not when it lands. It's when you see their health bar go down 1/3 from one ability. That's what I've learned as a mid main. That's how you know who you hit.
Oh yeah, she hit me. Okay, cool.
Yep, that's what it is too. And that we talked about that when we had Blood on. We talked about how like that animation, like I when I hit the button, it's just like I feel like there's no trajectory to let me know where it's going. Like I don't know how to aim it. Like it was challenging. So I agree with you.
I've mentioned it to a handful of people on the dev team as well as I've passed by. It's just like that clarity needs to be. I mean, that's just one of the things that needs to be polished, but that's a matter of time, right?
Yep. Now, did Paragon Twinblast did they have the grenade thing? Fault, this is something Fault did. I don't know how Twinblast was in Paragon. Did they have it to where
there's like
that's
4
true.
or 5 separate versions of Twinblast?
Yeah. They have the grenade option to where if you held the button longer, you would basically throw 2 grenades instead of 1. The AoE would get longer. The AoE would get bigger. Not longer.
It was just it was a little AoE skill shot you'd throw out. And
there was the little AoE skill. There was the big AoE skill shot that took a second to explode, and then they made it the 3 charges of the little AoE skill shots, and then they made it the little bouncing thing like way late into the game.
Okay.
Yeah. So
see, Fall had it where you could throw 3 grenades if you wanted to. You could just throw your 3 grenades, but if you held the button, it would load up 2 grenades, and the AoE would get bigger. And you do a little bit more damage, but not like much more.
Yeah, in Paragon, it was always a set distance, a set range, and a set size of the AoE. It's just depending on how the actual projectile went out more than anything else.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think that'd be cool. Something they could take from Fault in that situation, because I think it gives you a little more. Because I think if you did the math right, if you're able to hit 3 smaller AoEs, you'll do more damage. But if you're like team fight, like you could get a bigger AoE in a team fight, you could do hold it down and get a little more. Just gives you more versatility with the kit. I don't know if I really wouldn't call that skill expression, but just kind of gives you a little more to it. A little more ideas behind it.
I don't think I ever saw a Twinblast in Monolith, come to think of it. Like kind of what a Medkid's saying in the chat, after Legacy, my boy, RIP Twinblast. Hey, there wasn't a lot of love that came his way.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of love for the game once V42 came out, but that's a separate topic, right? Like,
True.
Even Epic didn't have a lot of love for it, and that's how we got where we are now.
Now,
true.
Now we kind of brought this up. Another carry, right? I don't mind, by all means. I'm a carry main, right? I think it adds more diversity into the duo lane. But why? Well, technically, it's 2 carries on the same season. Technically, because we're still in the same one, right?
No.
No,
Carry was the end of season 1.
Okay, no, so you're right. Technically, season
Greystone, Twinblast. That's so far this season.
Okay, got you.
Season 2.
Okay, but why do you guys think another carry was thrown in? Do you think he was just ready, or do you think it was specifically for a reason?
I definitely would say they had the other character, the original character, lined up, but once Wangle can attest to this, usually you have some things on the back burner and different characters or different items in the pipeline will be ready along certain ways. So I believe, and I literally know nothing, I'm just talking based on what I understand of game dev, is that once they realized that they wouldn't be able to hit the place where they want the current character they planned on releasing was they're going to go to another character that was close enough where they could eventually realize the kit and get it released in a polished state. And so that's, I believe, why we got Twinblast. He would probably been the next closest thing to releasable ready. I don't think the game needs another carry right now. I think we're like Greystone fills a bit of that role, but we do need another proper bruiser, in my opinion. I think we need Quang because we do not have an AP focused bruiser in this game. And Quang kind of is that character. Him or Aurora would be the alternatives to those. So that's what I think, is he was just the one ready, but he wasn't the one that was planned. No one's gonna be upset about Twinblast, not like getting Twinblast in the game though.
Yeah,
he's one of the flags,
like a safe bet.
Yeah,
I think it was probably a combination of he's either an easy enough character to make, like from a design perspective, like they already knew what they wanted to do with him and it was easy enough to rig up, that they knew they could just bust it out real quickly to fill in the hole that Lizard left, or he was just probably like the next or the one after. Like he probably was already lined up if it was that, or he was just that easy. Maybe a combination of both. So that's probably what I'd say happened there for them to choose Twinblast of anyone.
That's very fair. He probably just was, maybe they had him planned as first released after Lizard, and it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's just skip him over, at least for the time being.
Right.
Hashtag where's Quang?
I mean, because if you look at it, we had a support, a mid laner, an off laner, and then it was supposed to be something else that's not a carry. Well, at least I don't think Lizard Man's going to be a melee carry. I don't think that'd be their second OG hero as another carry, right? They already have an OG hero as a carry. I don't think their next OG hero is going to be a carry release.
I did see chat real quick. I did see chat talk about how Blood was on another podcast type episode, and he mentioned that Lizard's primary is a spear.
Right.
I'm just saying, you can throw them bitches. All right, go ahead, continue.
But Robbie was also on here and said that he is a melee character. So if his primary weapon's a spear, he's using it as a melee weapon, not as a throwing it. But I get your point. So technically that would have been 4 heroes released that weren't carries going into this. But if you look at it, like the only thing that really hasn't been touched for us release wise is jungle, right? But a lot of the heroes that are getting released, like, you know, Shinbi can go in the jungle. Countess can go in the jungle. Greystone can go in the jungle. Like, we're getting a lot of people that like secondary options can be played in the jungle as well. You know, so we can still get that. You know, I'm sure Wangle plays Morgesh in the jungle. You know, it's what he does.
Hey,
but
no. I do Narbash in the jungle. I'm not some kind of heathen.
I think that's also partially by design, because the character pool is a lot smaller, so you want these characters to have flex roles or flexibility. Like Richter could be played in 3 separate roles right now, and even though he's meant to be a support, he actually works better in the jungle.
That was they recently did that patch, right?
Yeah,
where they buffed them in the jungle. Like,
you can Narbash jungle if you really want to. I've seen a handful of people doing quite well.
I was really sad. I was watching Mugiwawa's show the other week, and he was going through the stats of the top 200 players, and I was the only top 200 player that lost on Narbash jungle. And that made me really, really sad. Everyone else that had picked it had won their game.
Ooh. Nice.
Now, go ahead, Bearded.
Good. No, you're good. You're good. Hit it.
Oh, no, you're chilling. So, how do I want to word this? Okay. Now, let's start with Joey here. What are you expecting out of an event out of Predecessor? Given the one that we just had ended with Greystone, given other things that's done in the past, what do you hope that they're going to do as far as, let's build hype, let's do a community event around Twinblast? What do you think they're going to do?
So you're talking about like community events, so like Greystone was you had to win games with them to get the profile icons.
Yeah, right. And like they did Countess versus Kira, for example. Just what do you think they should do for community events on?
For Twinblast, well, that's a little It's a little challenging just trying to think of one on the spot, I would say, because I feel like in terms of community events, the only one I think I see them doing is for like Lizard when it comes out, but I don't think we should keep doing community events just because we don't have the UI that supports that best, right? I don't even know I got the 20 games in for Greystone and won't know till the end of the event, right? Along with the other people. But if I would say a Twinblast event to Hypermob, I mean, I guess one more general way to do it is just like, I guess trying to get X amount of kills on the carry roll, because the big thing about Greystone is like you can only make progress on Greystone if you have Greystone on your team and on the enemy team, and if you win the game with him and against an enemy Greystone. So trying to make it a little bit more generalistic, so where like it's like, hey, trying to get this amount of kills and the carry role as an ADC, that's kind of like still related to like Twinblast, but you're not as pressured to play him 24/7 or feel like, oh damn, we don't have a Twinblast, we can't make progress on this event, right?
Yeah, I think Joey touched on multiple things there that I agree with heavily. I think the UI is probably the most important thing for a new event, because I think they learned a lot from this event, and there were people like, how much progress do I have? I don't know how to track it. So they had to have someone create the bot with a command in order to track it. So I think once they get the new UI in, it probably makes sense to do like a larger event, because then, you know, hopefully with the new UI, you'd have the ability to have like widgets on the screen to like track your progress or like give you the objective, have, you know, something like that. I think is really important. And then, yeah, they don't necessarily always do events. Like when you think back, the only events we've got was when Kira released. It was Kira vs. Countess and the Greystone event, and those are the only real events that we've got. So I'd say it's probably going to be for Lizard, considering he's their next original character, and I'd assume that they'll probably do one for each original character. At least it makes sense in my mind that way. Yeah. But yeah, I think we'll probably be a little bit before another event, but I think once the UI is in, it gives them a lot more freedom to do events, even just little small ones for like a week.
Like just a profile icon or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the UI is a great point. I think that's enough for them to shy away from doing one here. But to add on to like the possibilities of an event that they can do with Twinblast being the hero, you could do, instead of being like, Joey, your individual kills or whatever, we could do it community wise. Like Fault did something similar to it. It's like, hey, this when a support hero came out, they did something like we had to I think it was like damage mitigated or something like that, you know, for the support character. But they could track damage done by Twinblast, and they could put a time frame on it, right? And it's literally all of us grouped together as a community, and we need to hit a goal of 1 million damage dealt by X time frame, right? With Twinblast. And obviously that number might be a little high. They'll have to figure out their numbers there, you know, to do that, to figure out, hey, this is the time frame. What's a good, you know, grab Murdoch right now. What is in Murdoch's time, in this time frame, how much damage is Murdoch doing? All right, now because people are going to try harder, let's boost that a little bit by, you know, whatever percent. And like, hey, if the community can hit 500,000 damage dealt in this time frame, then you all get this avatar. And it makes like, and it's not just everybody fighting for their own. It's like, oh, we're all of us are fighting for all of us to get it together.
So if you want to go by pure stats, I don't think damage is a good one. You'd want to go into the character's personality. So something flashy, double kills or triple kills would be a good one. I don't know if anyone remembers it, but
a good one.
Twinblast and Gadget have lore connections. Let me put on my lore hat for a second.
Just real quick. Do they have the lore still, or was
I don't know if they, I think the lore in this game is still loosely tied, or it's kind of like intended. I'm the word I'm looking for. It's
because it's technically predecessor, right? Like it's technically supposed to be the same world, but beforehand.
Yeah, the lore in this game, all the characters are still, I think, from my understanding, implied, so to speak. And from what I remember correctly is that Twinblast and Gadget have some form of rivalry, but they've dated, and Gadget's the person who built his arms. So you could have a character interaction or a like kind of Kira versus Countess with Gadget and Twinblast, or you can kind of create a character event around those two. And
that's a good chance to throw some lore in there, kind of spicing it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. And I think you brought up a great idea. Double kills, triple kills, keep it right around that range. Because, I mean, a carry is going to get a kill. But how many double kills can Twinblast get? You know?
He's all about flair. You got to be flashy, right?
That's a good one. I like that. And that actually goes to what Jolster was saying in the chat. It's like maybe community events should just kind of stick to that overall range until better UI, better events come out down the road. Just keep it like a Murdoch versus Twinblast or Countess versus Kira sort of vibe. Gadget versus... I'd probably say keep it within the role, right? Probably carry versus carry. Not like Countess versus Kira. That was weird because they weren't even in the same role, and there was always a Kira in the game. And shout out to Joey for being Team Countess all day, but that shit was lopsided. The odds were not in your favor, bro.
Hey Joey, I was with you, man. Countess is my most played character. I was probably like 10% of what the bar is.
That's what I'm saying. But if it would have been a carry versus a carry, well, now there's a choice, right? Do we choose the main character or do we choose somebody else? Like if it would have been Murdoch versus Kira, for example. Now, I understand the lore, but as far as Twinblast is concerned, I think they could easily get away with still throwing in maybe some gadget-related lore and whatnot and do Murdoch versus Twinblast, right? Like two polar opposite carries, but both of them very popular as well amongst a lot of members in the community.
No, I mean, I get where you're going with the versus thing, but again, if we go back to like what I was saying of just being stat tracked or whatever only, and what Jack was saying, we'll do multi kills another way because there's no UI there. It's another thing they can use their social media account for. They can update the community as the time goes on. Like 3 days in, hey, this is where we're at. This is where the community is tracking.
Like a daily post.
We can daily, bi-week, every other day or whatever post. Like, hey, like this is where we're at. Kind of keep that track. Like, okay, this is where we're at. This is how much we're doing. We need to do more. We need to try harder, whatever. For the community to sit there like, all right, we got to do better, and get what we got to get.
True. You guys want to talk any about Twinblast before we go forward? Because I'm a carry man, and I just think
you could be here all day. Yeah, no, I got my piece out, so like everyone knows my character idea.
Yeah, I think the main thing that I think is going to be interesting.
Focus.
I think maybe one of the reasons that they my camera.
Yeah, you good.
It happens sometimes, but I think just in terms of ADC lane meta, having another ADC with a dash besides Kira, I think, I don't know, even just from like a cinematic perspective, I feel like there's going to be so many cool clips of like Twinblast versus Kira 1v1s. Like, one dashes in, one dashes, they all both use their abilities. Like
they both use their crest.
The nice thing too is Twinblast actually has an animation for it. He doesn't randomly turn into a bird for half a frame, and like so there'll be something to actually clip and watch.
Yeah, no, I think from like a cinematic perspective, Twinblast is going to be super cool going against Kira. And from a meta perspective, I think having another dash ADC is going to be really good for the game, at least from high level competitive standpoint.
What's the name of the crest that gives you the blink? Sorry, I was gonna say the crest that gives you the blink. That's the armor shred. I don't know, bro. I don't know their official name. I'm like, hey, the one that says multi-kill. Pick that one, bro.
Pacifier. Yeah. Chad's saying Pacifier.
There we go. That one on
Twinblast.
I hate him. Get me out. But that one on Twinblast is gonna be spicy. And I'm sorry, Joey, you were saying, bro?
I'm not saying that. Speaking of meta that Wingo brought up, for a while, kind of hopeful Twinblast is I really hope to see this new like ADC, his best build path not be crit but be penetration or on hit instead. Because if you guys think about a while back when they released Kira, they pretty much did the whole rework for ADC items. They did crit, penetration, and on hit, right? So all the other heroes before that were made with crit in mind, but when they did the whole rework, they're like, okay, we're gonna slowly adjust all these ADC kits to kind of fit these items over time. And you kind of saw that with like Sparrow. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Sparrow builds are like on hit. Like she's supposed to be that attack speed steroid hyper carry that's like abusing these on-hit items, right? But like at the same time, like I think for a long time she was still running like crit builds, like that's kind of like her better items, I think. So I really hope for like Twinblast, like, since he's kind of like the new ADC that's being built on this like 3 item system, penetration, on-hit, and crit, that he's someone that's made in mind for something that's not crits, because definitely I want to see more variety of ADC meta builds, I guess you can say.
You want to see a
definitely
true burst carry, is what you're saying. Like,
yeah, I mean, Weapon is interesting because like he's like I did some interesting builds with him in Phonum. Like if Phonum's becoming like a really fun item to do on ADCs because it actually works really good for some ADCs. Like Weapon using Phonum really well. I did a spell one within Phonum that's more penetration bits because it buffer ratios for that. So I thought those builds are really fun. So I really hope that we can use more of those kind of builds on like a new ADC instead of just like, oh, I'm gonna just slap crit on Twinblast and call it a day, right?
You know what you just...
He is the attack speed carry kinda. They had like, you know, like he has 2 guns. He should be shooting faster, which means in like you'd think logically he's the one that should abuse on hits the best.
You know what you're just reminding me of, Joey? What was the Ace video that he made way back when? That you guys remember an item that it would drain your mana and add to your damage, and people started running that shit on Twinblast. You guys know what I'm talking about? OPD.
Yeah, OPD.
Bro, do you remember how many people just randomly started running OPD Twinblast just because Ace made a video? And now that shit was all over your lobbies. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? He's like, trust me, it's a strat.
There was that, and then I think, didn't he do a similar one where he went Trapper, which was the one that like rooted, like the Elifrost type one?
Bro, I love Trapper.
Where he had like 5 people on a team running Trapper, like.
Oh god!
And then all of a sudden after that, I saw like so many people just using that item.
I already saw somebody on Twitter saying they were a Elifrost Twinblast. I'm doing it. I don't even care if he doesn't build that way. I'm doing that shit. Just glak 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 glak.
I was gonna build Elifrost Greystone like a couple weeks ago, or Elifrost support Grux. I was bored. Like I was like, I'm down for anything.
Support Elifrost Kai is actually sick, man. I will tell you that.
Oh god.
I love that one.
Don't throw that out into the juju.
So on Twinblast, before we leave that subject real quick, Sinister brought up a great point too. Releasing Twinblast in the summertime, and you'd almost have to release summertime Twinblast as the skin they come out with, right? You got to have the summer fun Twinblast, whatever it is, as the skin that they release with them. That would be great.
That would be.
The dab emote. If they don't have the dab emote ready, is there really a point in releasing Twinblast at all? Like,
no, but summer fun Twinblast. That's just an opportunity, bro. Like that can't be a missed opportunity, right? Don't tell me we're getting Twinblast and summer fun skin isn't coming until next year.
I feel like there's a couple reasons it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I could see it not happening just based off of animations, right? Like maybe they want the squirt guns and stuff.
Hear me out. They have an obsession with green. That's gonna get somehow a green Twinblast skin.
Ugh, they have those too. He's got the vest. He's got a green vest on. It's like it looks like it fits Decker's Electro skin or whatever.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with someone like a couple weeks ago before Greystone came out, and they were like, "Bro, there's so many green skins in the game? Like, give us something." I was like, "Bro, you're gonna get a green Greystone skin." And what do we get? We got the green Greystone skin.
Yeah. And then Green Countess just came out this last patch.
Exactly. I think genuinely the main reason that we wouldn't get like Pool Party Twinblast is probably from just like a business perspective. Why would you release the good skins?
Yeah, that would be like a tier 3 skin or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously they have the ability to hook up like a lot of the tier 3 skins. Like
it's they've shown it with of time though, right?
Well, they've shown it with Rock Rampage. They can do it. And they have like a bunch of them sitting there. The assets are all there, but there's obviously a very real reason they haven't done it, because those skins would be the ones that people buy more often than not. But why would you release the ones people would buy more than the other ones so early?
And releasing it without full effects would be a shame, because we've seen other games do that, right? Like squirt guns that are still shooting normal guns. Like, no, bro. Part of the fun of Summer Fun Twinblast back in the Paragon days is the fact that I'm shooting water at people.
Yeah,
like it's super cool.
Yeah, no, but I think they would, when they give the skin, they would do that from what I know of a meta. But like, give the community like, you know, an easier to rig up skin, a less flashy looking one, and then, you know, in a year's time, once the game, maybe it's free to play by then, the audience is bigger, people have like grown, they love Twinblast now, and then you drop that skin, and then it's like its whole thing. Right now, Twinblast coming out is the main event, and then you can have another event around dropping the pool party Twinblast skin.
That's a fair point. Yeah, so in retrospect, I want it to happen, but it's probably, if it's not like mint ready, and then even if it were ready, why release it now as opposed to closer to, like, free to play, for example? Yeah, bro, I just want them to do it. Like, I would love for them to just throw the flex out there and be like, hey, not only do we have the skin, not only are the animations done, here you go, guys. Bam. How's this price for you? Like, goddamn.
Here's another reason they don't do it, though. I remember when we played with him on Fault, again, he didn't have the animations, but his back had the Paragon symbol. But now there is another game that owns that symbol. So
I would do it.
That would be another reason that you don't put that skin out there until you're able to basically reskin that and not have that symbol be there.
Hashtag new jacket. Rip.
Hashtag new jacket. There you go.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. Fuck.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of skins, I've been having this argument with Lance for the last 3 weeks, and I know you guys really like
that's
talking.
Your fault. You're arguing with Lance. He's an Iowa fan. That's not saying much.
I know you guys really like talking about skins, but me and Lance have been in this constant debate for the past few months about what determines a recolor, or what's a chroma, what's a recolor, and what's an actual skin. Where do you draw the line? Because for Lance, he considers the new Countess skin, where they have just a texture update on the bodies, those green triangles. He says that's a full skin, not a recolor, and he doesn't consider those chromas either. Whereas I consider chromas to be anything that's a color change and a texture update, like that Countess skin. Where do you guys sit on that? Because I want to see him getting that in chat right now.
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. A chroma is a recolor. Get mad all you want. A chroma is a recolor. At the end of the day, they're still the same character model, and all you're changing is colors and textures.
So you would say that a texture change like the Countess skin that just came out would be a chroma?
I would say it's a chroma and a recolor. Like, I would put those two in the same category. For me, the difference being a recolor is just what they give me. I can't change the color. For me, in most games, if it's a chroma, I can choose the color, or I unlock the different color variant specifically. That I can, and I now have the original skin and the chromas for it. But if the skin only comes, like if I'm just getting the base Twinblast skin and they just made his arms blue, that's just a recolor to me. I guess a recolor would be more base skin, and a chroma would be more skin variants, so to speak, like with like maybe flowing textures and stuff like that, breathability and that.
So if they made his if they made his arms blue and then they changed like the pattern on his jacket from like whatever it is to whatever the heck I'm wearing, parrots. Parrots. Is what you consider it's parrots, pineapples, and hibiscus. Great time. I'm feeling very festive. But if they change,
if it's a texture that's not already in the game, I'd consider that more towards the chroma side.
Yeah,
because it's something spicy.
Yeah, for me, a skin is when they physically change a model. So that's my line in the sand there. The rest are the chromas.
I'll join you on that one.
Chroma to me is like a recolor of a skin in my mind, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. They're kind of like along the same lines, right?
Yeah, it's like you can have recolors that are like their own skins, I guess, like sold as their own skins as like T1s, but then and that's what a T1 is, right? It's like T1 is like a recolor, T2 you change like
some physical model but no animations usually, and then tier 3 is animations and physical.
Yeah, or I think T2 is like what we have with like the red Gideon at the minute, because he has like the little extra gold thing.
He does have something, yeah.
But then like Pirate Gideon is like tier 3 because it's like everything has been remodeled, and then tier 4 is you had like animations and sounds that are new. Yeah. So like T1 is like recolor, so I'd say that's probably a recolor, like that Countess skin that's in. And then like a chroma to me is like a recolor of like a T2 through 4 variant.
Because the way League defines it, it goes recolor chromas, which are just a base texture change and a recolor, or like a color palette swap, and then a T1 skin, which you actually change the character model. T2 is you'd add the animations to those new character models, and then T3 would be your big like Skeleton Gideon and Rock Rampage kind of skins. So that's the metric I usually use it off of. Like a chroma's not even technically a skin; it's just a palette swap and a texture swap in some places. There's nothing real new about the actual model itself.
Yeah, but I guess just to throw a wrench into everything, the way that they described the T1, T2, Tier 3 within Predecessor is hella vague. Like it's like it could be including but not exclusive, and then they throw a list, and I'm like, what the fuck? So is that a Tier 2 or a 1? Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm reading with half of these, bro. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah, it definitely was very challenging. Lance says, how is changing textures not changing the model? I think you could like
well, I'll give you an example. I can change my shirt, but that doesn't mean I changed my body.
Right. And
you know,
the Fall did it when they had the Valentine's. They had a Valentine's Day event. They literally had a Valentine's texture that had hearts all over it. It was pink with white hearts.
That's old school.
Literally, it was just a texture that they were able to apply on different heroes. Right. It wasn't just. I think they had it. I think it came out with Muriel or whatever. But they put it with a bunch of other ones too. They had a Fang Mao one that had that same texture. Right. It's not just a color. A texture is something that's got a design to it as well, and it added that texture to it instead of being a recolor.
If it's just a texture, that would be on the recolor. If an actual physical part of the model changes, for example, if Twinblast goes from his vest to the you guys remember that one skin variant with the coat that we saw out there? In Fall?
The trench coat.
Yeah, the trench coat. So that is a totally different character model. That's a skin, right?
Right.
If it's the original character model and just a color got changed or a texture got changed, I don't understand where the argument would lie here, to be real with you. I'd love to talk about PCC though, if we could go ahead and pivot into that.
Let's go. Joey's on the PCC now too,
bro. Right, bro. This is
you've been the only two that left out, Windu. But that's fine. I can't talk in front of a large crowd, so it's good.
PCC cast, apparently.
Weren't you a host or on one of the tournament casts early on in the year?
Me? No.
I'm thinking of. I know Wangle was him. And
I was.
Wangle was.
Never anybody with the sexy beard on PCC like this. All right.
We like to have themed. We come every broadcast day. We'll usually get into the call, like the pre-production call, and we'll okay. What are we wearing today? And then just everyone has to try and run around and scramble and figure out what we're all wearing. And
that's hilarious.
How many people? Yeah, it started with F6. He showed up in a Hawaiian shirt, and Lance happened to be wearing a Hawaiian shirt. And I'm like, hold on, I'll be right back. And
is that why Briddick and Pinzo were wearing suits randomly during one of the casting?
That wasn't us.
That was not PCC. That was the one I was in. They just kind of showed up because they wanted to like that. I think they did that on their own. They didn't let me and Blue Jay know, so we just looked like fools before.
I look underdressed. Oh my god.
I'm just saying. Next PCC, I got you.
Oh, we got a button up.
Ready
to go. What if we determine that the button up's not the dress code for the day? How you gonna handle that one?
Then I'm gonna play. There was.
He said, "Meet me at Dillard's." Rip.
There was talks about auctioning off your hot tub water, and I was thinking about getting an inflatable bathtub to stick here.
Why did you have to bring that up on the stream?
It's official.
So okay, yeah. So just to give the context, for memes, one time I did like a hot tub stream with a couple of my friends when I was like just graduating.
You did not.
I did. I don't have a pool here, but we were like out of town and we rented a cabin somewhere as like our senior graduating trip. And I did a hot tub stream, and for a meme, I was like, oh, I'm going to save some hot tub water. I put it in the little plastic water bottle that we had and, brought it back with me as like a meme. And it's just been sitting there on my shelf for like 2 years now.
Is it? I'm sure it's a different color by now. It has to be.
It is not. I can show you it right now. Let me.
Oh my god!
He said that shit was bleached.
I don't know why. I just kind of forgot about it, but yeah, it's just been sitting there. It's just it looks like normal water, but it is Wangle hot tub water.
Little does he know, his family replaced it with normal water years ago, and he has no idea. He's just holding a normal water bottle from Walmart, just chilling.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to buy
that thing was still sealed too.
Yeah, right. I'll
No.
buy an inflatable hot tub and do a hot tub stream with you when you're on the PCC, Wangle. I'm down.
Oh my God. We were
We
talking.
already got a
about
bidding
it
war
for,
starting.
Yep,
We were
we're $13
we were
1
talking
cent.
about maybe doing a bidding war or something. I also brought up if ever we had a LAN, I would bring it and we could do something with it.
Your putrid bathtub, your hot tub water.
We'll figure out something because I don't want to have it anymore, man. I forgot about it until it kind of came back to me like a week ago, and now.
You better keep that in a spot where you don't drink it. You better not get fucking thirsty.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot
Yeah.
about it for 2 years.
Let
so
your
I'm
chat
fine.
get thirsty, but don't you get thirsty.
We call that recycling, Windu. It's the modern thing to do.
Bro, get me out of here. I'll buy a shirt and donate. Like, nope.
So Jack, correct me if I'm wrong, but just recently you guys opened up signups for the next PCC tournament that's starting in August, right?
We did. If I can drum up the old memory real quick, I believe, and I'm going to get yelled at by Jolster and Lance immediately in the chat.
That's fine.
We are doing August 12th or 13th for the group stages, and then it's
Okay.
going to be September 3rd and 4th for the finals. Because it's a bigger event and because we want to be able to showcase more people and more teams, we're splitting the event up into a longer day so more people can actually get broadcast time, and it'll be a longer commitment over the weekend, but it'll be shorter days individually for everyone because there's going to be a big prize pot this time around. And on top of that, just like 10-13 hour days of straight video gaming is hard, especially on the EU teams. The EU community is a lot smaller than the NA community, and we want to encourage EU teams to come out more often and participate more often. PCC is not an NA event. Anyone can join up. It's just due to the nature of pings and ping differences, a lot of the EU teams will shy away from it. Also, EU is a very wide time zone, so we could be playing in NA on East at 3 p.m. and the earliest it could be 9 p.m. for them, or the latest it could be like midnight or 1 for someone else, right? Like it's a really big gap for them. And Wangle spent time in EU, so he can attest to all this too.
They're all pussies, man. Just
Damn.
EU. I was playing on an NA East team. Just deal with it, man. As long as you're not an ADC player, like I don't want to hear it.
Empty's not happy with you in chat right now, dude.
I don't want to hear it, man.
He is not impressed.
Ping is just a suggestion.
Nah, not if you're the carry, bro. Everywhere else, yeah, you're melee, yeah, you can get away with that shit for sure.
I can't play on NA West.
I'm a
lance
mid
four
laner,
meters
so
every
I don't want to
often.
hear it. The only people I can say, like, I'll never play ADC on that ping. So
Did
ADC
you-
players, like,
you
them,
just-
I don't understand how he does it.
Didn't you just say you were the mid laner that has the mine that auto locks on after you throw it in a certain area?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm that good. I'm that guy. Yeah. I'll
Hey
take
man,
Every minute
Hey, man,
of the
shout
game
out to
has
you
an
for
AoE
playing
that's
on a high
the
ping,
football
bro.
Field right now, you don't need to worry about ping and aim. You're gonna hit something anyways.
There you go.
He plays more against mid. That doesn't count. God damn.
All right, and
Shout out to
Wangle,
Wangle.
I think you had an announcement from Seismic or something like that. Like what? Something about
Oh yeah,
100K.
Jack,
What-
I would like your opinion on when do you think the 100K in blood diamonds is coming to the PCC from a meta?
Oh,
right.
sorry. Repeat that.
What are your opinions? When do you think the 100K in blood diamonds are coming from a meta to the PCC to fund their next tournament?
Honestly, the sooner the better. That'd be real nice. I'd take that. We talked about it, like, because the joke's been going around for a little while now, so we talked about it internally. I'm like, you know what? There's big memes going around lately, but I think with that money we could actually run a land. So it'd be nice to see. No one's expecting that money soon. It would be absolutely insane to actually see that, and we'd all love to see it, right? But it'd be nice to see like a collaboration between Omida and the PCC to get a community event going, probably to help celebrate the console release or the new UI or something in the near future.
How many bake sales need to happen for the 100K? That's a real question.
I'm willing, dude. Like,
How many more bathwaters do I need to make?
Oof.
That was hot tub. Now it's bathtub. What's going on?
Hot tub.
Either way, Wangle's going to be a raisin by the time we're done fundraising this.
And what you, the viewer, can do to make this happen is anytime you see a stream like the PCC where the devs are there, make sure to spam about the blood diamonds. Make sure they know.
You really do see those comments everywhere, bro. Like I'm just surfing through Twitter, not even Predecessor official posts, just like a random homie's post. And out of nowhere, somebody will be there like, what about that 100K though? And I'm like, bro, y'all don't give up on this shit. Like, goddamn.
I highly encourage everyone to be as annoying as possible about it. Manifest it. Make your dreams a reality.
It is copy pasta all over the place. I saw it spammed on the Predcast. I saw it spammed for the Minions. I saw it spammed in Gen Chat. I saw it spammed a lot of places. And it's funny, especially when you see devs even join in. I think I seen Blood Mortius join in.
Yeah, I have a screenshot of Blood doing it for sure.
And he did the copy pasta as well. I'm like, all right, well, hey, somebody's joining in at least. So it's definitely cool to see. I love the community interaction and getting people to do that. I think, I could be wrong, but I believe Seismic is the one that started it. So if I'm wrong with that, I'm sorry, but shout out to Seismic if you are the one that started it. I love the community engagement Seismic always has. But on that note, with PCC, you guys have a little hype video you guys sent us, and we're going to show that off here in a little bit when Windu gets it set up and ready to go. So we're going to
I got it
for a minute. All right, we got a minute.
Ready?
It's like a minute 30. Yeah, it's
of
a minute
course,
30.
bro.
There's audio with it, so we're gonna stop talking while this is running. Let the people here that are watching listen to it and get hyped about PCC coming up here in August.
Spicy, let's go.
Oh, we're going to have another gank in the duo lane as they're just going to drop the gag grenade, and it's Peak going down once again. But Guru now dashing in, crashing Natty with the knockup, and flipped a huge ultimate coming out from Guru. And this is that potential. Go over the law. The take damage will get him. But comes out followed by a great Rip Flash and Skewer on Blue Jay. But cannot get away from four members of taking the boys outside their best. And actually, Vectron is there to play Paragon and gets away.
Snoop's probably gonna fall down to Grady here as he doesn't. Oh, Vectron! Oh my goodness, Vectron.
Get away from the last tick, but cannot get away from the curse. He tries to make that happen. Lakenator steps up and he steps back into his spawn. And my trap coming out from Abby Picker grabs three of them. May had the audacity to step into what they thought was their own mid lane. Taking face, got a health pot as well. 40 HP drop down to Vectron. Maybe might be able to confirm this with an auto attack, but Lakenator has just walked out there with less than 50% HP.
How does Lake survive that?
The fly trap, the CC, the body blocking is beautiful coming. Oh, Red Walkers, the big combo, the big damage coming out. They grab the members. Look at the health bars drop here as they find a huge combo and take the All Prime from even worse timing.
That is game 3, a clean sweep for even worse timing. They become the newest champion.
Spicy. Team signups are now open.
All right, and where can they go to sign up for that, guys?
You can go straight to the Discord. It is discord.gg/predpcc, or you can check us out on the Twitter, which is the same. The links are in there. If you need any help, you can just ping me on Discord. My name's Geronimo Jack on Discord, and we'll make sure we get you to the right channels. If you're looking for a team, we can help you out. And there's even talks internally where if you're having a hard time finding some scrims, a few people on the PCC team may be willing to join up and scrim against you just for funsies. But there's no promise in that one. I know Jolster has been pretty happy to talk about that one lately. So he's just trying to get that. You might see Jolster in some of your games a little more frequently as a result of that.
All right, there we go.
Me with a good time.
Yeah.
No, that was a great video, and I've said it before. I just have the time wise, I don't have the time to watch the tournament because it's during the weekend, and that's like my time with the family. So I haven't really watched anything. So seeing this hype video was my first time actually hearing the casters. And shout out to you guys because it sounds legit. Like it literally made me feel like some of the Overwatch tournaments that I've seen, like which is like that's some legit stuff. Like they actually have a whole channel for it and everything is perfect. So you guys are on that level, in my opinion. You know, keep it up. Great job. I mean, with the tools you guys are given, right? You guys only have so much with the replay system. You know, you're not living, you know, we don't have the Overwatch replay system.
Short 100K, you know.
100K would be real nice.
Right?
So,
No,
it's
great
really
job to you guys.
Yeah, it's really appreciated. And, you know, like as someone who's on that shoutcasting team as well, like you heard me in the video, I want to give a shout out to everyone who's been a part of the shoutcasting team, because it is not easy to do play-by-play or shoutcast this game right now. Our current setup has it where it's hard to get sound in the games. You know, the replay system is great. We're super happy to have it, but it does have its quirks and various things that can pop up. Like there's one fun feature where the minions on the mini-map might not want to despawn. So you just, as the game goes on and you're trying to watch the mini-map, you just see a big Christmas tree of just orange and blue at one point. And it's really hard to cast from that standpoint. Or sometimes the kill score doesn't want to update, or sometimes, you know, some of the characters might not want to show up on the mini-map. So just that is to say, everyone who's done it, everyone who's casted for us in the PCC, thank you. You're all doing a great job, because I know personally that, you know, it does have its challenges, and we're still able to put out something that's getting us the positive feedback that it actually is.
All right. I want to peel back the curtain a little bit. And if you guys if you don't want to answer this because you don't want to reveal too much behind the curtain, that's fine. But how many takes do you guys have? Because obviously these are replays, right? You're not watching live games and you're not calling it live, right? So
we're watching them live.
Oh, so you're casting live then? Your voice,
I'm casting live. Yes, I am casting as I see things. Like I said, or the way our current setup is a lot of the times we don't see a lot of the game sounds, and the casters themselves. You guys are seeing a clear screen, but because we're watching a stream of a stream, there's a bitrate issue, so we can get like kind of caught up. But we are seeing. Okay. We are casting live. We have it set up so the games are played. That way the players are just getting through things, and we can grab the replay code from there, and then we just tell the chat and the players, you know, the rule is you don't talk about it, and we'll just cast the games as is. So everything on our end is live as far as the stream itself is concerned.
Well, that's even better then. I'm literally sitting here thinking you guys are watching replays, and I'm sitting here like, all right, take 5, you know, but you still got to bring that same energy when you just called it. You know, you just literally called that same play. Like, how do you but there was a mistake or whatever, there's a fumble somewhere. Like, how do you do that? So that's even better. Great job.
There's been one instance where I'm not too sure who it was exactly, but we missed a very obvious pentakill because the kill feed sound doesn't go off, right?
Was it the Snoop at the was it the Snoop at the end of the last one?
No, it was Pablo.
Pablo.
It was the first time Pablo played, he got a pentakill and we all missed it, and we are all still kicking ourselves in the butts over it. And then I think Pablo got another pentakill in the last event he played in, and we made sure not to miss that one.
You did miss my Fangtooth steal, though. I have a bone to pick. I stole Fangtooth.
Was it me who did it?
I don't know who it was, but someone missed my Fangtooth steal. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm sorry.
All right. I missed Pablo get penta twice on broadcast. All right, so he admitted to it. It was all right. I was just poking fun, but all right. So we're just gonna start calling him Penta Pablo. I mean, it might as well at this point, I guess.
He gets in a tournament, he's just basically guaranteed he'd win at that point. Like,
all right. That's pretty much all I have for PCC. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about PCC while you guys are here, and give that shout out to yourselves and do whatever? But
we're really happy to get as many people to sign up as possible. Like I said a minute ago, if you need help finding a team, if you need help getting people together, we really believe in the community, and we really believe in connecting people together. The PCC is not just an event for competitive players. It's kind of, we see it as a cornerstone of the community. I said it in the chat to the Predcast itself, is like, we kind of are one of the mainstays in the community right now. We're really helping the community hold itself together, because a lot of players, from what we're hearing, and this is, I'm not humble bragging by any means, but this is genuine feedback, is a lot of players have said, you know, like, the PCC or these tournaments are the one thing that's helping them drive interest in coming back to play the game. Outside of that, it's hard for them to stay there. So we take that to heart. We mean that seriously, and that's like the community and giving back to the community and working with the community and being a part of it is a core tenet for us. And it's something that when I joined in the project, I have a less of an involvement at the moment just because of real life stuff, just like a few other people. But when I joined it, I made sure that we all agree on this, and this is going to be one of our core tenets. Is this is about the community first. So if you guys want to get involved, if you guys want to help out, anyone's allowed. Just reach out to me, reach out to Lance, and we can get you to the right people, and we'll see what we can do and get you to the right people as well.
All right, so you're saying when you said help out, like I was just gonna add, that was my next question, is like, are you guys like bringing on other shoutcasters, or are you guys bringing on to help people with choice with the production side of it, or like what Joey was doing, sitting at the table, are you guys bringing on more people for that? Are you like if somebody's interested in doing something like that, are they able to reach out to you? Are you guys like not hiring at the moment? Whatever. I'm not hiring. I quote. I'm not saying you guys are paying people. That's what it in air quotes.
We paying them in orange slices.
We always need bodies. People on the desk, we are someone we need. We're gonna ask Joey and Wangle on there for sure. Windu was already invited in chat, as well. Like Lance said, you're more than welcome to come on for a desk analyst or a guest. We had Spuds on a little while ago, and Spuds was terrified for like a month straight. But he managed to draw himself a little tie that he duct taped to his forehead, and he stood in there and he did such a great job. But we're always looking for people to help moderate the events, which is you would sit in the call with the team and you'd make sure that just everything's going smoothly. You help them run the draft, and then you just relay that information to the main admin. It's going to be a long weekend, right? So people's availabilities may change. If you have an interest in shoutcasting, you can reach out to us. We are doing what we can to develop talent when possible, if we see people have that potential for it, and we want to give people the opportunity to be a part of the community more on the content creator side of things. So just talk to us and we can see what we can do. There's always people coming in and out of like the I guess the guest crew is what I would call it.
Okay. And Lance is saying in chat that you're having auditions for casters after this event. We're doing auditions for casters after the event in September.
Yeah. If you guys feel like you have strong game knowledge, if you guys feel like you have, something to offer, reach out to us. A lot of our casters are very good casters, but they are mainstays in other communities. So Predecessor isn't their primary kind of focus. And if you're someone who believes that the game well and you have a strong voice and you can communicate effectively, and Predecessor is your core game that you want to spend time in, reach out, because we're always looking for more people who have like Predecessor as their kind of like main baby.
All right. So Windu can't be on there because he doesn't know the ADC crests. Got it.
Bro, you would hear the most generalistic terms but on point calls. No, actually, I almost subbed for the first event because somebody was almost wasn't able to make it, and then I considered for future events. But I literally work 6 days a week, and I work every crest hurdle now. But yeah, so
it's always rough for me. I always talk with Jack and I'm like, yo, you and me should be a great duo, that'd be amazing, and then I end up always just qualifying. It's like, oh well, can't do it this time.
Maybe next time I'll qualifying suck. Like that's never gonna happen. You're always on another team every time you play too, like.
Amen. This one seems to be riding out. I'm hoping.
You're hoping? Okay.
I'm hoping this one sticks together.
But yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I really want to dive into that world, especially after seeing Joey get on there too. I was like, damn, bro, Joey, good shit, bro. Like I want to, I really do, but we'll see what the tide rolls in. And as far as the stream, I think it's honestly there might be an internet issue going on right now, by the way, because that shit's it's dipping to like 1,000 bit rate. Just a heads up. So this might be a good time to do just a plain old outros, by the way, unless you have something specific that you want to talk about.
I do have something I want to do real quick. We got 7 minutes before the show, before we get to 2 hours. I meant to ask it earlier and I totally forgot. Twinblast. So guys, real quick, what do you guys think Twinblast's passive should be?
I'm having like, I think it should probably be the double shot after abilities, but like that is pretty cookie cutter for as far as.
Now, what about the burnout?
The burnout?
That burnout would the burnout idea would be the passive, the overheat. Yeah.
The overheat would be his resource mechanic. That wouldn't be the passive necessarily, right?
Yeah, he wouldn't have mana.
But they could implement that as like that's his passive. He has this resource mechanic, not mana, you know?
You could probably implement it as is now, where the less mana he has, he can get a little more damage. Like that could be part of his passive at the moment, right? It creates another version of that kind of red line or adrenaline mechanic, but I guess that could be an interesting way of putting it in at this time.
I think it should stay around mobility specifically. And we saw Fault do an interesting iteration, like the longer he's shooting, the more mobility he gets. Maybe not necessarily somewhere along those lines, but maybe like get him that flash that we were talking about. What if he does get a double kill or a triple kill? What if those are little like stat boosters for him? And when he's at a quad, now homie's cracked, and let him get the penna, please. You know?
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I like that idea.
I was thinking something like an on-hit movement speed. Like if as long as you're connecting shots, you're able to move a little bit more, But as soon as you lose those shots, then you drop right back down to base speed.
That would be hard though, because what people don't realize in video games is that movement speed is the strongest stat, bar none, no exceptions, and it is not even debatable.
Right.
The more you move, the more you can land things, the faster you can get across the map, the more resources you pull as a result, and you can also dodge abilities quicker. Like it's harder to hit you. So it is just the strongest stat, bar none, in a video game, and not a lot of people realize that.
Wangle?
I'm gonna refrain from this one. I'm gonna pass it to Joey.
Copy that. Joey, give us the perfect answer, and then we can end it with our outros.
The perfect answer, I don't know. Like Twinblast is kind of known in Paragon to be that more higher attack speed kind of carry. So I mean, you can probably make it so where like he gets some kind of higher attack speed in his base kit, right? Because like. I mean, like instead of being like items to make an attack faster, you can maybe tie it to his kit, so it's more natural attack speed in his kit, so he fits that identity quote unquote better.
Okay, so if he throws a grenade, his attack speed gets boosted a little bit or whatever by using ability attack speed boost as well, maybe. So a small multiplier.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
There you go. All right.
You imagine if they made him like an anti. Oh, I was gonna say. You imagine if they did like a little passive on him, like. The closer an enemy is to him, the weaker his shots get. But the more distance he has, like if he's able to keep max distance, he's able to get a damage boost. But the moment that the enemy's right up on him, like super close, that damage boost goes away. So he's almost forced to dash away to get that little damage boost again.
I almost hate that as the enemy carry. That would suck because your whole point is the positioning. You want to stay away, but you're like, now I gotta be right up on his ass because he's gonna kill me if I do.
I feel like it'd be a cool idea for like a different character that's designed for like long range specifically, but I don't think it's like a Twinblast vibe.
Because Twinblast wants to get in there, he wants to get gritty.
He wants to like be mid range. Right? Yeah, be mid range, dash around in the midst of things, but just slightly out of range of getting hit of stuff. Like
heard, so pass it for another one. Got it.
It's not a bad idea. Like it is a neat idea, but I'd have that more on like Wraith. Or I'd have
you could have it where like Wraith snipe after like a certain amount of time, like after a certain amount of travel distance, it like explodes and does bonus damage. But if you're too close, it doesn't do that.
Well, there we go. Get this man on the team. Confirmed. Y'all heard that? Ometa? We get his man on the team again.
Me and Wangle, new dev designers. Let's go.
Confirmed.
Whatever happens, happens.
All right, so let's go ahead and do our outros in the same order that we introduced ourselves. Tell people what you got going on in your life, content, where they can find you, etc. And then from there, give a little bit of either words of encouragement, tips and tricks, a little bit of advice to the community or to the devs.
So I'm Geronimo Jack. I do have social medias, but I'm not as frequent on them as I used to be, so I will direct you straight to the PCC. Discord.gg/PredPCC is where you can probably find me. Check us out on the broadcast. We're always trying to cook something new up. We're trying to come up with different ways to interact with the community. You can catch me on the stream. I kind of do some of the hosting for the broadcast, and I do some of the shoutcasting as well. I think that would be the best way to put it. I said it before, but get involved. You can either reach out to us to help us out, or we'd love to see more players, especially the EU players. If you're awake at 2 a.m. your time, for whatever godforsaken reason on a Wednesday, but we'd love to see you, and I'm happy to be on the show. Thanks for inviting me out today, guys. It was a lot of fun, and I will leave it up to Wangle now.
Yeah, so my main form of social media is just my Twitch channel. I'm Wangle on Twitch. That's mostly it. I'm kind of in and around most communities for the game, I'd say. If you're in a Discord for the game, I'm probably in it. You can hit me up whenever. I respond to most of my messages. Play more mid lane. That's really all I can say.
Play more mid lane.
Hi, Joey.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's just yours truly. I'm over on YouTube. YouTube is kind of like the primary platform I do for all my content, including streaming. So I also have a Twitter page where I also, if I do stream, I'll like put on my tweet out that I'm streaming, but also I do a lot of doggo pictures on my Twitter page. So for any doggo enjoys out there, especially Ace, who said that he's a dog fan, not a cat fan, definitely go check my Twitter page out.
There we go. So real quick, catching up here, Lance posted for Jack to say, and it's fine, you missed it, but subscribe to PCC's YouTube and follow them on Twitter at PredPCC. So check that out. And Wangle, for you, I do have a question, since you said you're interning with a virtual reality company. When you guys do your conference meetings, do you do it virtual reality, or do you actually do it in person?
Part of the metaverse, dude.
I believe we do it on Slack. we stick the VR. We try and get out of VR as much as possible, because there's like a really weird thing, especially like the first week or two when you're just starting to work there. If you're like testing the game, you have to go into the headset, and because you're not used to the headset, you get like motion sick. It's one of like the weird things that you don't.
I do not have my VR legs, and I've tried a handful of times. It's kind of problematic.
Yeah, it gets better, but like when you need to go in and test something, like there was one time I had to like take a video of like one of our maps, because you had to see it from like a 2D perspective video, or like you had to see it from a video in the headset, because the artists are working in 2D, but then it appears in 3D in the game. So you have to like take a video in game to send to the artists. And I did it for like 12 minutes straight, and I was feeling nauseous at the end, and then I fell through a hole in the map, and genuinely I almost threw up, man. Like
my dude went into the Matrix in VR. He got lost.
Fell through the map. It was like a roller coaster, man. It's like my body's like I'm falling, but I'm sitting in my chair. I'm like, I'm fine. What the fuck is going on? Like, yeah.
I see.
All right. But as for myself, I have completely converted over to Kick streaming. I'm still slacking on any other content creation, but I love to stream. Love hanging out with the community. Love doing these podcasts with you guys. So I will revert you to watching these on YouTube as well, and helping us. Even though you have watched them live, it still helps us if you watch them on YouTube. Comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I think the number was 63% people watching it aren't subscribed to the channel there yet. Windu,
crazy number.
Subscribed. Yeah, let's get you subscribed over there. Like, comment, help that out, help boost those numbers. Let's get Predcast just flying everywhere. But again, love the support from all of you. Greatly appreciate it. Wangle, Jack, thank you for hanging out with us. Definitely appreciate that. And then Windu, you.
Spicy. As far as myself, honestly, I've just been putting up the predecessor content, been streaming a little bit more on YouTube. Officially migrated, and we're doing full 4K live streams and gameplay. That shit was a mess to get sorted out and actually get it up and running. Like, I'm talking about, like, I had to switch internet service providers and everything, bro. But we got it. So full 4K gameplay up there. And then as well, we got Predcast shorts that are literally being posted on a consistent basis. Like right now, we got 3 a day on Predcast Shorts, probably lined up until sometime next week. And then this Predcast will also provide a little bit more feeding into that. So
what's your laundry bill, Windu?
My bro.
If you have 3 pairs of shorts a day, what's your laundry bill?
Bro.
Love it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm in Florida. I live on shorts, okay? Like, you catch me in long pants, well, there's a serious problem, all right? Something formal's going down and I'm not ready for it. That's all you gotta know. Like, shit. If you ever see me in long pants, that's what it is. I kid you not. I'm a board shorts. Like, I could be at Walmart. I could be at the mall. I'm that guy that's got the gray shorts with the flamingos on it for no random fucking reason. I'm just all about the shorts. But yeah.
Real quick, while we're sidetracked though, you might be saying it, and I'm sorry if you're going to, but this next Tuesday is going to be the release of Twinblast. Windu and we do a Team Windu versus Team Bearded. We do a group of customs, and it's just a good casual way for you to come try out Twinblast, the next hero. We do it for every hero release. We've done it so far with Mori and Greystone, and next one's going to be Twinblast, and we're going to keep doing these and just keep having fun with them. But again, it's a great way for the community just to come in and relax, and you're not sitting there trying to spam carry and hope that you get first pick and somebody take Twinblast jungle just because they want to have Twinblast because they got first pick. So just chill, relax, way to have fun, and we're just customs there. So come hang out with us on Tuesday.
Yep, and just a heads up, we didn't expect Predecessor account to actually retweet our little post about us having the little event, so that quickly went from like 500 views into like 4,000 or 5,000 views. So just a heads up, if we got to have multiple games running, we got the structure for it. We'll get it running and everything. Just first come, first serve. Everybody join in. Let's get some games going. And if you guys ever got any problems, just hit me or Bearded up directly. Super easy to set up. And yeah, guys, just be on the lookout. Follow Winduthemace on all socials. If you guys want to see my personal life, as far as me posting like a video or picture of my daughter and my family, that's over on the Instagram. Sharing my thoughts, that's over on Twitter. Random clips, you'll find them on TikTok or YouTube. Got everything pretty well spread out. And I will catch you. We will catch you on the next episode of Predcast. Much love, homies. Peace.